She said, "Gotcha."
Hi, my name is Infinite, and you're listening to Infinite Rockett Power. This podcast will be conducted on a weekly or bi weekly basis regarding topics in my life and different aspects and perspectives about life. Today's topic is chronic envy. Is there a cure? The word chronic refers to something that persists for a long time or continuously reoccurs. It can also be defined as something that is long lasting, similar to a bad habit. Chronic illness lasts longer than 3 months and is often associated with words such as long lasting, persistent, and incurable. Envy. Envy is defined as a feeling of someone's discontentment or resentfulness aroused by someone else's possessions, quality, or even luck. Envy can oftentimes turn dangerous, deadly, and self destructive. However, just like any chronic illness, before it becomes incurable, there are stages of development that proceed into seamlessly incurable disease. Today, we will be discussing those stages of how a person can go from admiration to hate, the difference between jealousy and envy, and also discuss proactive ways to avoid envy as well as identifying these passive aggressive people you have around you. But before we get started, if you love Kate Spade, Bessie Johnson, or any other exclusive jewelry, please visit www.prosperityboutique.com and be sure that you like and subscribe. How is everyone doing today?
Wonderful.
Hey, doing good,
Hey,
doing
okay.
good. I
That's
already
good. That's
know.
good.
Hello, it's your boy Rello.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves, starting with Miss B. How you doing?
I'm fine. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is B, and I'm the CEO and owner of B Organics. B Organics is a healthy hair and beard product company. You can find us here in the metaverse at B Organics Beauty Supply Store, or you can find us at www.borganics.info because we have all the info for you on hair and hair fall.
Thank you,
El
B.
Blanco. I'm with Meta News. I'm the business news anchor for Meta News, and as well as starting to pull out my brand El Blanco brands, and you'll see it tied in with Pure Brands with Ishitusha.
Thank you.
I'm Fancy J. I'm just a player, gamer on here, and also promoter. But enjoy meeting everybody.
Hey, this your boy Rello Guy. You know what I'm saying, from Alabama. You know what I'm saying. Tuning in to Infinite Bel Air podcast. Let's go. You know what I'm saying. World created for Horizon. You know what I'm saying.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jeremiah. I do a lot of things, but a lot of people know me for the wings. I'm the father of the wings in the metaverse. So you can follow me on Instagram, Jeremiah Supreme VR, and stay tuned, guys.
I'm Dollar BZ1, Horizon creator and scripter. You can follow me at Dollar BZ1 on Instagram.
What's up? I'm Dick Tracy. Tracy for short. It's not a lot that I do here in Horizon Worlds. I do have a world called The Garden. Check that out. Most of what I do is outside of the headset, host a lot of events. Currently working on a book, and I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree here in English literature. Got 2 more semesters left, so a lot of my time has still been focused on that. Follow me at Dick Tracy on Instagram.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so blessed to have everyone here today. Now, I'm gonna start with B, and this is gonna be a yes or no question for everyone. Some would say that envy is love and hating someone at the same time. Do you agree?
I didn't hear you.
Love and envy. Some would say love and envy, loving and hating someone at the same time is considered envy. Do you agree?
No, I do not. You cannot love and hate at the same time.
Okay.
You can't.
El,
There's no way.
El Blanco.
I don't agree either.
Okay. Fancy.
I would say I wouldn't agree. Don't agree as well.
Okay. Rello.
I mean, I have to agree.
Okay. Jeremiah.
I agree.
Okay. Dollar Beezy.
I disagree.
Okay. And Trey.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, with that being said, I'm gonna start with you, B. Do you feel that people that have more of an egotistical personality are more prone to have jealous behavior?
Yes.
Okay. Now, El Blanco, you said that you didn't agree with the first question. What made you disagree?
Well, okay. Well, you got people who envy people for different reasons. Like if I use the context of a historical context, when I apply like to stuff like slavery and so forth, right? You say, well, one race hated the other race because they envied them because they couldn't do some of the things they did, or they were almost like superior in performance. Even to this very day, you hear that. Um, so some people don't love what they envy because they really have some type of deep rooted resentment about that, even if it can lead to hate. So that's why I disagree.
Okay. Rello, you said that you agreed. Why did you say that you agreed?
Oh, well, you gotta look at it on various reasons, though. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, like, okay, a person grows to envy you. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between hate and envy. You know what I'm saying? A person can hate you and be miles away. A person that envy you is the one that's up under you all the time. So in the beginning, you got to look at the whole situation. You got to look at it like, okay, how did I let this person that envy me so close to me? This person had to become my friend first, then start hating on the moves that I made. You see what I'm saying? So they ain't envying me, they envying on the progresses that I make. And they can't keep up. See what I'm
Mm.
saying? But they love me, but they just can't stand the way I'm progressing faster than them. So that's why I say I agree. You can love somebody but envy them at the same time.
Okay. Interesting. D.
I hear Rello, but the true definition of love, there's no way hate can come in there. There's no way. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. So you cannot hate and love at the same time. And you can have envy miles away. People do it every day on social media. When they watch people's lives on social media, they're nowhere near them. Even in here, we're in totally different states, each and every one of us in different states. And one of us could be envious of another person sitting right here in this room. So
True.
there's no way love and hate can coexist in the same space. There's no way.
Well, I mean, can I?
Yeah, you respond.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like I understand what you're saying, B, but I mean at the same time, it can't. It can't. You're right. But at the same time, let's say for instance, all right, me and me and Trey, you know what I'm saying? We become best friends, you know what I'm saying? He moving on the same accord as me, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, cool. We grow a connection. You see what I'm saying? All right, now I say he my partner. So I got love for my partner. So I love my partner, you feel me? But then let's just say Trey start advancing more than me. You see what I'm saying? And I'm still stuck back here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He trying to hit me, but I'm so naive to the point where I'm just like I'm stuck in like, damn, how he getting there? He steady trying to show me, but then so now instead of me taking accountability of my own actions, I'm gonna blame
Hmm.
Trey. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Now I'm gonna start growing envy towards Trey. But I love this nigga, but I'm starting to envy the way he progressing more than me.
But
But
that's
I'm
not
so not.
love.
It's not love, but I'm saying
Mm-mm.
you can love and envy somebody at the same time.
You can't. You can't. Once you become envious of Trey, that love goes out the window because love
Well, yeah, it
would never
does,
allow
but
you
at the
to
same,
envy Trey.
but you can at the same time.
So she's saying the
Because you gonna
second.
always have love for the man. You always gonna have love because you
You
would have built that
can't.
bond.
You
Look,
can't. You can't
Oh.
have love for
let,
him
let
and envy him at the same time. You can't.
well, let's just say for instance, okay, you have a friend. You and that friend have an altercation, y'all fall out. Do that mean just because y'all mad at each other or y'all hating each other that you still ain't got love for that person?
But that's a fallout. That's not envy. We had a disagreement. We
Okay,
disagreed
y'all
on
could have
whatever
had a
situation.
disagreement, but y'all could have turned into an envy. But
No,
in one
that can't
point in your
count.
life, y'all gonna talk about the good things y'all did for each other. I'm telling you, not to
Okay.
each other, but to another individual. One way or another is gonna come up.
I think what she's getting at is the degree of separation. So
That was,
even though
yeah,
at some point in
I
time
feel that.
there was love there, but the progression that you're talking about and the degree of separation she's talking about is what make them to where they don't reside in the same place.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, and that's why
It
I
once
agree with
was
her. I
love,
agree.
but once envy comes in, there's no more. That's like darkness and light. Once you go into a dark room and turn the light on, there's no more. There's no more darkness. And that's what happens when you come into envy. The love you once had for that person goes out the window because now hatred has come into your heart. That's darkness.
Because they not
So,
There's no
remember them good
love
times that they talking
where there's
about.
hatred.
but exactly. But look, it go come a time to a
Not when you
degree.
have envy for a
Man,
person.
you
You'll
is
never
human
talk
and you
about it
got
again.
memories.
I
You
actually
have
agree with
feelings.
Rello now.
But once you get to envy,
Man,
you and that other person will never discuss those old times again.
Okay,
you
so
would
let's
not
pause.
discuss it.
Let's
Okay.
pause. Dollar
Okay.
Beezy said that he changed his mind. So what made you change your mind, Dollar Beezy?
Because I believe there's segments of people like people aren't all in one like grouping like sorry. I, I believe that like you can do both now. Like cuz like okay, when you start to love somebody, right? You can love them like, not to be spiritual or anything, but like we should all love one another. You know what I mean? It's not the same as being in love. So like if you got those different compartments of love, like maybe you do have love for them, but at the same time a different side of you hates. Like it's kind of like together. Like I could hate like R. Kelly. I don't like what he did, but I love his music. Like I think it's
True.
I think it's
But there's
spaces
also
for
different forms of love. You
yeah,
have
but that's
agape love.
yeah, okay, but maybe you have a different form of love that's not in the same realm as the hate.
How they get in?
Like maybe it just doesn't all mix.
Angel,
Mm.
can you step it?
But
Step.
darkness can never live in the same room with light. Can't.
Like like I
Yes,
feel
it
like because
can.
I mean if there's they all work together. You know what I'm saying? Like light creates shadows. You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be dark where there's light.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's just not in the same realm, like or in the same space. They might not share the same space. So I agree with you that you're right. Like they're not sharing the same space, but they do both probably exist at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Trey?
Yeah.
So let me ask. This is for like everybody at the table because I'm my question or my answer to this is yes. I understand we're talking about envy, but can you love somebody and not like them? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yes, I have family
Yeah.
members like that.
Now, Rella,
Hell
this
yeah.
Yeah.
this is relevant to what you're talking about. B, I
Yeah.
agree with what you're saying, but this is relevant to what you're talking about because I can love you, but not like your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
Mm-hmm.
can love you
Right.
and not like
Right.
some of the things that you do, not like some of your characteristics,
Right.
your traits and stuff. So there is, on some level, a love, envy can coexist on a very small plane, right? But the word envy is where we're getting hung up on. We're getting hung up on
Mm-hmm.
envy. What does it mean to envy somebody,
To
right?
be
Yeah.
You,
jealous,
you're
Yeah.
jealous of what you see,
resentful.
of what
Mm.
you see, of what
Yeah.
you see them do, or how they move. Booker
Mm-hmm.
T. Washington said had, and I'm paraphrasing here from Up from Slavery, kind of relating to what El Blanco said about how he used to be. He's no longer envious, or he was no longer envious of white people because envy is, and I'm paraphrasing terribly here. Envy is the jealousy of the way that you see people moving.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Success
Mm.
is the
Mm-hmm.
It's
struggles that they had
comparison.
to go through.
Yeah.
Hold on, pause for 1 second. Ma'am, we're recording, so I'm going to need you to go out and exit.
I was leaving. My bad. Say sorry.
What were you saying?
But to wrap up what I was saying, it's just, you can, I'm using like now. Instead of envy, I'm using like and love. You can love somebody and dislike the way they move, dislike their attitude, dislike certain aspects about them. So there's a coexistence there. But as far as like envy, I can't hate you. Now, when we talk about hating on somebody and envying somebody, there's two different things, right? We hate on and then we envy it. I believe that there are two different things. But I can't love you and hate you at the same time.
You
That shit
can't.
just don't make no sense.
Right.
Okay. Fancy, let me ask you this. Do you believe that jealousy is a natural human emotion, or is it a learned behavior?
I think it's a little bit of both. You can, definitely get from watching your peers or other people that get jealous of stuff and things around you, for one, and learn it. And the other thing is just a natural behavior as far as, even if you think of like a little child playing with a toy, the other child wants that toy because they're playing with it. No matter if it's something they want to share or not share, or whatever else, but it's something that they naturally are going to want to have because somebody else is playing with it. So I think it's something on both ends that you can learn, and it's part of nature.
Okay. And Rella, can you mute your mic for us, please? All right, Jeremiah, I want to ask you that same question. Jeremiah?
Yes, I'm just trying to choose my words lightly because, like, envy, in my definition, is like a comparison to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I think jealousy comes in when you compare yourself to other people who may have one up on you on anything. It doesn't even have to be like something serious, but like it is a natural, thing. I think it's both too. I don't know. I've never been jealous.
Okay. El Blanco, what's your take on it?
With jealousy, it can be learned because some people may not have a reason to be jealous, and it could be they could be around people, a peer group, right? That like cliques, like in high school, you know what I'm saying? That cliques act jealous of certain people or
I
whatnot.
hate you, so they hate you.
And then again, it can be,
Yeah.
Sally standing right here, Susie standing right here. Jake walks by, he's still a hunk, right? And they both like him, and then he talks to one of them, let them get jealous. It's a natural reaction. So it could be either or.
Okay, interesting. I like those
I
examples.
mean, yeah. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You have a dispute in reference to that, Jeremiah?
No, I agree. Like, I think envy is like a step up from jealousy. You know what I mean? It's more like an action. You know what I mean? And almost sabotage. So I'm conflicted right now.
So, B, let me ask you this.
Hmm.
When I spoke on dangerous and
Hmm.
self-destructive, do you think those things come from jealousy or more so envy?
It comes from envy. But remember, we looked up the definition of envy and we looked up the definition of jealousy. They both coexist. They both go together, jealousy and envy. And I believe envy is more of the action of your jealousy. So
I say it's an
Okay.
destruction,
extremity. I say it's an extremity, B. It's an
yeah,
extremity.
yeah,
Because
of your
somebody could
of
be
your of your
jealous
jealousy. When
and
once you
not
become
want to do
jealous,
nothing.
say that again.
People could be jealous and not really care, but
Right.
envious is like, oh
When you become
wow,
when
this is
you take it to the next level.
right,
Extremity.
right. That's
Mm-hmm.
different.
Okay. So we all agree for the most part that it starts with jealousy before it turns into envy, which is what we're referencing
Mm-hmm.
as a chronic illness.
Yeah, I think 'cause illnesses like that start like that. Like when you I had been diagnosed one time with PTSD, but it started out as acute. You know what I'm saying? It was acute. It was acute trauma. Then became PTSD because it lasted, like you said, the definitions when they say go
Mm-hmm.
beyond a certain 3 months, then it becomes that. So I think, yeah, anytime you're dealing with mental type things, I think they always start at one stage and go to the next. So jealousy,
Mm-hmm.
then envy, because they're dealing with the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay. All right,
they,
Tracy.
we, yeah.
Have you ever experienced jealousy or envy in your personal or professional life? And how did you handle it?
Yes, yes. Have I ever? I mean, I'm sure we all have, but yes, I have. How do I handle it? Very brief, because you know how long-winded I can get. It seems like a lot of the, a lot of the friends in my past were jealous or envious, however you want to define it, of things that I was doing, moves that I was making, and I didn't understand that because if you were in my group, if you were in my circle of friends, I wanted to see all of us doing well. You know, when I
Mm-hmm.
call you up and I ask you how you doing and you give me good news, that's good news for me too. I feel that. I feel that with you. But when I start making moves or start making changes that are not the same, mixing stuff up, not doing the same thing that we were doing 5 or 6 years ago because I'm trying to progress in all aspects, and you hating on me or everything is a competition. It's like, dog, we not in competition. And then when I say that, they think, oh, what? So you think you just you better? No, you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. It's like I'm not even playing the game that you playing right now, dog. That's what I mean. Like we not in competition. There is no competition because I'm not playing your game. It's not a game to me. So usually to handle that in the past, I've had to separate. I've had to kick a lot of people that I call friends to the curb. Um, because at the end of the day, if I'm on, you on. But if you
Mm-hmm.
can't get past me being on or me being better at something than you, it's irrelevant to me. It's not who's better at what. It's like what can you contribute? If I can contribute A, B, and C, and you can only contribute D, I'm not looking at you only contributing D. I'm looking at the fact that you have a contribution to make. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
contributing A, B, and C, and you ain't contributing shit, that's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it
so
does.
That
that's
makes
that's
sense.
how I
Mm-hmm.
that's how
That's
I dealt
deep.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just getting rid of people. Just you got to do it yourself. You got to do it yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that, Trey. So in that scenario, Trey was referring to someone that he knows. But does anybody have an experience where they've experienced envy from someone they don't know?
Oh, you already know Relo God 3.0 go through it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This real life, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, man. From bosses to coworkers to just people on the street. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I go do it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it pretty common. That's why I feel like I should never work for nobody. I should go and get my own establishment because I feel like what I'm saying? It's a little bit of intimidation or something going on, you know what I'm saying? And instead of them getting to know who I am, they rather just judge off an image, you know what I'm saying? Instead of getting to know the mind, you feel me? That's why I speak about the mind because the mind very important. You know what I'm saying? Some people mind so lazy till they don't want to hear what's coming out of another person. But that's for a different story. You feel me? But yeah, you know what I'm saying. How I handle the situation. You know what I'm saying. I handle the situation with silence. You know what I'm saying. I don't. It take two to make a party. You know what I'm saying. Hey, look. Hey, you can have your own thoughts, your own mind. Look, I'm gonna keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I just handle it with silence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta speak on it.
So, Ro, you say you handle it with silence, and that sounds peaceful and all.
Yeah.
It's hard to handle it real peaceful when they come in very disrespectful. All this passive aggression, all this anger. How do you handle that energy?
So what you do is, I mean, like it's still handling inside. It's a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and a place for everything.
I'm
You
gonna
know
get
what
you
I'm saying?
back.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I don't have to
no.
respond when you want me to respond. That means you got control over me. That means you want me to
Mm-hmm.
respond right then. Nah. I'm gonna handle it with silence. I'm gonna keep on pimping. You know what I'm saying? But it's the time and the place. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's bosses, co-workers. So you see what I'm saying? You see the line where it's going. You know what I'm saying? These are in established businesses. You see what I'm saying? So it's got to be a time and a place. You can't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta handle it with silence. You know what I'm saying? And when it's time, it go present itself. You see what I'm saying? When it present itself, it go show what type of person you is. You see what I'm saying? So it's just
Okay.
about it. So that's how you gotta handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I always remember it's a
Yeah,
time and a place for
yeah,
everything. You know what I'm saying?
So sometimes you
I
gotta
think
yeah. I
with
handle it
think you
me,
got to have a humble
Yeah.
personality. That's good,
Yeah,
Okay.
you
man.
gotta be
That's why
humble.
we. Come
Yeah,
on,
Fancy.
Gotta
yeah,
add,
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
add
I'm
Yo,
gonna
on.
get you
you
though.
know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
get
saying?
you. I
I'm
swear.
gonna get you, I'm gonna get, but it ain't the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna handle that. Hey, shh. Just
What were
be
you saying,
quiet. You know what I'm
Fancy?
saying?
I think that a lot of it, especially if you're looking from afar from someone you don't know, it's kind of the saying keeping up with the Joneses as far as seeing what other people have and what they have going on and trying to, you know, get to that point where you want those things or see and envy those things that those people have. Now, handling with it, you got to just understand that not everybody's showing that all of um their non-successes that they've had and failures that they've had to get to that point, whether they have or not. You have to just really, really look at yourself and understand that you have to make your own successes.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
B,
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you this. Do you believe that jealousy and envy can be a healthy emotion, or are they always going to be a negative emotion?
Jealousy is always a negative because, as the definition says, it's an emotion towards someone about what they have, what they're doing, anything somebody else has, you can have. You just have to work at it. If that's what you want, you have to work at it. But always remember, everything ain't for everybody. You can work towards it, get it, and it fail because that was never meant for you anyway. So jealousy is always on a negative note.
Hmm.
I have to disagree with that because I think jealousy can turn into a motivation.
Absolutely, in a healthy way.
Okay.
It just depends on how you channel it. Now, if you're a person that's going to channel it in a bad, negative way and keep staying in that spot of jealousy and not working towards it, or if you decide you want to put your kind of your anger, your envy, or whatever into a positive channel and work for it and go for what you want, then I think that could be a good motivator.
See, yeah, it come back to that learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's why I believe it's a learned behavior. You feel me? Because you know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. You gotta look at it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When it come down to a learned behavior, you watching the pattern. Like you be like, oh man, I'm jealous that you got them, and then whether that other person respond with like, well, get like me. You know what I'm saying? And that person just be like, okay. So you know what I'm saying? It could be a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying?
But
That's how.
fancy, I don't think that's jealousy when it gives you it gives you courage to or motivates you to go forward and do something that you like. I don't think that's jealousy. That's just something that you want. You see that you want and you go for it. But jealousy
Mm-hmm.
will keep you looking at that person and never at what you're supposed to be doing. You'll always be looking at that person and what they're doing and how they're doing it, and instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing, what's for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you on that.
Okay. All right. Dollar Bees, and let me ask you this. What are some common triggers for jealousy or envy in a relationship, and how that can they be avoided or addressed?
In most relationships, I believe it's when somebody excels, when somebody gets something that the other person feels like they'll never be able to obtain. And usually, I I think jealousy is one of the emotions that's tied to a whole bunch of other things like laziness.
Mm-hmm.
Typically
Mm-hmm.
because or a lack of understanding of what it takes to get to a certain point. Most people just look at results. They don't look at the road to get there. And then when you show them the road to get there, they're usually lazy and don't want to take it. So, but the way I try to work with that is, I show people the road to get to the things that they want, and then be willing to help them achieve it. You know, most people, it's really hard to hate on somebody that's trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? So that's my way.
But my experience been different,
Yeah.
Dollar Beezy. My experience been different.
I've seen it happen.
You can help people and encourage them and lift them up and encourage them some more. But somehow, somewhere or another, they make it. They circle back around to shit on you at any given
That's true.
opportunity.
And that's a recent thing I had to learn too. When we think we're helping people, we got to realize what their version of help is. You know, like me personally, like I thought I was helping tons of people by doing lots of things, but it wasn't the help that they wanted.
Right.
You know, like, and you got to help the person in their frame of mind. And if you're not willing, if you're not willing to do that, you have to establish that early on, because then you'll feel like you gave up yourself and extended your hand, and they weren't grateful. Really, you just gave them what they didn't want. They ordered pizza, and you gave them fish. You said you was hungry. Like, nah, that's not what they wanted.
That's not what I
You
wanted.
know?
Well, you
Yeah,
ate,
I had to
so
learn that.
No, he's bringing up a great point though.
Yep.
I
Indeed.
spent money on this DoorDash. I'm gonna need you to eat.
Yeah, it sounds good, but
it's just like your love language. If me and Tracy in a relationship and I'm loving him the way I want to be loved, he's not getting fulfilled. And now he's mad with me because I didn't love him the way he wanted to be loved. I loved him the way I wanted to be loved. So he's still not, he's still not having his needs met. And that's the same way with helping people. If they don't say to you specifically what they want and you give them what they want, they're still going to be mad with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's when resentment and everything else comes up too. It makes it even worse.
You got a community guy.
But I mean, does that make love disingenuous?
But love, like I said in the beginning, love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love does not brag. So if you gather all those things and say, okay, this is what I did, then it's love. If all those things are not what you did, it's not love.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because some people do things just so I can say I did it.
True.
It's never from the heart. It's never genuine. Just so I can say, hey, look everybody, look what I did. Not because I wanted Tracy to feel good.
But sometimes too, people are doing it because they think it's the right thing to do. Like it seems like, okay, well, you tell me you're hurting, I'm supposed to give you a hug, or I'm supposed to say I'm sorry. You lose a family member, I'm supposed to say sorry for your loss. If I don't, it's almost like I'm wrong for not saying it. So I think it's a lot of outside pressure.
My best friend
tradition.
My best friend baby died. This was years ago. Now she's deceased. And I didn't know what to say. So I said nothing. And I still was wrong. I was still wrong because I said nothing. But I had never lost a child. I didn't know what to say. I had never seen somebody or know somebody that died or lost their child. So I didn't know what to say to her. And she was like, you didn't say anything. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. So
that's deep, B. Because some people would take that as you didn't love them.
I didn't care because I didn't say anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
emotions aren't meant to be judged
by reason.
So let me. I'm not trying to change the subject, B. I promise I'm not trying to say. But let me ask you this. I gotta ask you this. So I'm pretty sure this wasn't the case. But what if you were talking to this girl every day, telling her about your men problems and this and that and all this other stuff, and the day her child died, you still didn't have nothing to say?
That's insensitive. That's very insensitive because your man problems are really not as equal to her losing a child. Her child trumps your man problems. If that's your friend that you talk to every day, that would trump your man problems. And as a friend, I would put my issues to the side and console my friend. it wouldn't be about me today.
Okay. It's just for the record. Just for the record. All right, next question. Next question before we go to the second half of this. Dick Tracy, do you believe that jealousy or envy is more prevalent in certain cultures or societies? And why might that be the case?
Probably in more cultures or societies. I think not, this is not my original thought or profound, but you got two types of people, rich and poor, and you always gonna have the poor people, right? We in this room, I think I've said this before, I don't know where. Everybody in this room, assuming that everybody is the same color as their avatar here, um, everybody in this room probably has more in common with the poor white person than you do with the rich black person,
Mm-hmm.
right? You probably do. I know I do.
Hmm.
I can't relate to. I mean, I'm glad to see Will Smith and other people like that, doing well. But I can't. I ain't lived his lifestyle. You know what I mean? We ain't got nothing in common. I had ramen noodles last Thursday. You think he had ramen noodles last Thursday?
Hell no.
Hell
That
no.
nigga
If
had
they
some.
were, them were the uppity ramen noodles. He went to the restaurant, the real place where they make them at.
All right.
Man, they
But
brought the stove to him.
but my point is I think it's I was gonna make it a us first them thing, black and white and all that above, but I don't think it's about that, man. I just think it's about whatever it is that you don't have,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what you have. You could have everything that you want, and there's
Yeah.
always gonna be something that you don't have, and that's with everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's with everybody. So is it prevalent among certain societies and culture? I mean, it's in society, it's in our culture, it's in the black culture, it's in the white culture, it's in everybody's culture. It's everywhere, inescapable. But I will, and this will be the last thing I said. Fancy said something about channeling that negative energy, and part of like if you suffer from depression, they tell you work out, right? If you have bad thoughts or something like that, there are ways that you can channel those negative thoughts, that negative energy into something positive. Because you're gonna have them. We all have negative thoughts all the time. I'm not talking about the extreme negative thoughts, but when we're talking about envy and jealousy, you can channel that into
Mm-hmm.
something more productive, until the point where it doesn't become envy or jealousy. It becomes
Right.
admiration.
Right.
It becomes motivation. It becomes, all right, I want to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
So
I
I got a
disagree with that,
question.
by the way.
Go with what you disagree, and I'm gonna go with my question after that. Dollar
Go
Beasley.
ahead.
Okay, I think in I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, in the African American society, we are raised to be little haters. I'm sorry, like that's just what it is. Like even the word hater, like you realize that's in no other language. Like, and
Mm-mm.
it's not even a real definable word other than in the hood, basically. Like so
Like,
so I mean, and you gotta think about it. Like we're talking about an oppressed. We're talking about oppressed people. When you have oppressed people, they feel like there's some idea or some force over them that will prevent them from excelling to a certain point. So if you feel like you're oppressed, then you raise your children to be oppressed, and they feel they just feel jealousy and envy on anyone that makes it. Like even slavery times, like the field slaves hated on the house nigga. I'm
mm-hmm.
sorry, that's what happened. Like
But it was
so,
set up that way.
yeah, I mean, it's been bred into us. If we believe that, oh, you won't be able to achieve this, them people ain't gonna let you get this, or you know what I mean? Like, look at how easy it was for us to believe in Bill Cosby went to jail because he tried to buy these networks and stuff. Like they wasn't gonna let him. They wasn't gonna let him. So
Mm-hmm.
when anytime one of us gets a little past the gun line, we jealous of them, and
Crab mentality.
it sucks. But yeah, that's that crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
But I think it's bred into us. Like when we get money, we don't shine on those who got money. We shine on
Those who don't.
we shine on the ones that don't have it. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're not buying Gucci belts because they're in fashion. We're buying them to show that we got a certain amount of money that we can frivolously spend on a belt. Like that, Balenciagas, they're all that
They
stuff,
already
man.
rich.
It's just to make they're you're posting it. You're posting what you're eating to make other people jealous that they're not.
Mm-mm.
Man, it's just crazy.
I
So
think
I mean, I do think it's heavy in our culture, is what I'm saying.
mm,
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Listen, I had a friend long, long, long time ago. I didn't call him Gucci, but like this dude had money, and I never asked questions. He just always had money, and like anything, he had the newest shoe, the coolest belt, the coolest clothes, and like people hated on him, and I get it. But this dude needed a car everywhere. He needed a ride, so it's like
Ride that belt.
we're not friends anymore, so I could talk about it. But like this dude needed a car everywhere we went, and then I was just like, I don't see how y'all.
Mm-mm.
He's trash. Like my friend is trash, and like it didn't take me. It took me not being friends with him to understood that like it's all an image. Like it's fake because like people just hate. You could just be breathing and people hate on you. There's no limits. You know what I mean? And there's people who'll go to the extreme to put on this act like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like that. I'm a thug. Like, I get money,
Hmm.
make people hate, and I'm like, you don't even have a car, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
I have to pick you up if something pop off. You know what I mean? Like,
You can't even get away.
yeah, like wait by the car.
it's
People in the metaverse.
Mm-mm-mm.
it's
He was
recent.
cool though. He was a cool dude, but it's just the flaws.
It, it's once again, it could be something that is passed down to you from your parents, because people who have poor parents, especially from the hood, because I got family was on this side of town in those projects, some on that side of town in that projects, and the ones that weren't in the projects, we had a different mindset about things. Always, we had a different set of values, different set of rules. But then you got the societal construct. Okay, the societal construct, you are in a society that's an ancient system of status. That's why you have statehood, status. And so when they push status, they got what you call status quo. If you're in the status quo, the people that's protecting the status quo, they're gonna be hating on you because they want to keep their position so they can have some form of power to maintain that, because they're giving them all the benefits while the one at the bottom aren't hardly getting any benefits. So it's like looking at the system, looking at the white dot, the red dot, and the black dot in India. You won't find the red dot hating down on the people down there. You're gonna find them hating on them because they can't, or whatever. Vice, you know what I'm saying? And the ones in the middle trying to look at the top, because the top, like you said, rolls downhill. So yeah, these them constructs are like, these things are structured in these systems. These systems, and I would say Western system, because Western society is, you know, this whole banking thing from the banking cartel that controls all these economies through the banks, through the banks, and that's where all your status quo at. Well, who holds the money? You know, what I'm saying
They
you
got
know
the power.
they maintain they
Mhm.
maintain the status quo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand that, Blanco. I understand that. But my next question leads into how can we cultivate compassion and empathy towards one another when when this is going on? Like how in this society that's in this construct of keeping it together, to keeping the status quo, it's been cultivated in the foundation of oppression. And then we in that oppression, people with huge egos are grown and bred, and then they're toxifying this environment. So how are we gonna cultivate empathy and togetherness in the midst of that?
Within your
With the
own
truth.
construct,
Mm-hmm.
it's a saying, they say, let the dead tend to the dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's real. Let the dead tend to the dead. You know what I'm saying? And so if you understand that, right? Like had a one time we had a podcast where everybody was asking that same question: how, well, then what we gonna do? Because I kept saying, I ain't got time to hear y'all talk about the same complaints they had 60 years ago and the same complaints 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I said it's an actual a way that they're showing you the blueprint. Every nation.
if you look at it, it's organized as an organization, as an organizational system. Everything that we do is organized. So you have to create your own, you start
It's
your
not a
own, and
crime.
from that organized thing, you create your society. And that's what they do. You just exist in a world full of different societies. Some are secret, some
Mm-hmm.
are not, some are whatever. They're widespread. And those societies are who they're saying my brothers and my sisters, sisterhood, brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? You can't go
Mm-hmm.
through this door unless you one of them. You can't get this benefit unless you one of them, and vice versa. So they buy and they fight for position. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to protect their interests in a world of societies, right? That's trying to maintain their safety, maintain their prosperity, and never let their wealth get taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Blanco. Rillo, let me ask you this. What are some ways that you've been able to identify jealousy in the people around you?
You on mute.
Oh man, that was a good one for me. Yeah. Oh, ways I can identify, man. I identified all kind of ways. The way they look at you, the words that they say. You see what I'm saying? It's all type of ways. You just gotta you just gotta pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as you dealing with somebody, you know what I'm
The
saying, we tend to
shade.
yeah, the shade. That what I'm saying. The way
The
they
shade.
yeah, the words they
Hmm.
throwing out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The eye look, you know what I'm saying? The ones that when you look away but you don't think you still looking at them and they hit you with that cut eye up down, you know what I'm saying? You
Side
know
eye.
what's going on. You
But,
know what's
but,
going on.
but what about in the metaverse when you don't have that eye look and you don't have.
Look,
You don't have on the pro.
hey, look, listen. Y'all need to listen to this. Now I'm glad you said that. I tell everybody this. The only way you can survive out here is with your eyes and your ears. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the metaverse, look, listen. When you're in the metaverse, what only sense that you can run off in the metaverse?
Your
Your eyes
ears.
and
Your
ears.
ears.
Not really your eyes
Your
in
ears.
here because
So
everybody's in
where
an
they
avatar.
come back to? Where they come back to? What they throwing out, what the word they
Mm-hmm.
saying, how they saying it. It's the
Yep.
tone for me. That's a true statement. You see what I'm saying? That's a true statement. It's the tone for me. You can see how anybody level of energy is by the tone of and the
How they feel
projection of their
about you.
voice. You see what I'm saying? You can hear greasing. You can hear slick talk. You can hear it
Mm-hmm.
because you're familiar with it. You see what I'm saying? But the only way, you know what I'm saying, the metaverse is no different. You just took away a sense. In real life, you don't need to talk. You ain't got to talk to nobody.
Mm-mm.
Because that could lead to this and that lead to that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're using your eyes and your ears, how can you get into anything? You can't. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is though, but that's how you can identify, you know what I'm saying? By the projection of your voice, the way people look at you, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Probably a handshake. You see what I'm saying? It's in the handshake too. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta
Mhm.
understand, these levels, you know what I'm saying? That was three. But it's still more, you know what I'm saying, when it come down to friendship, relationships and all that, you know what I'm saying? Hold on.
But even in here, and you
Yeah.
can feel, but these avatars, you can feel what's behind the avatar.
Yeah.
They once you get in a present, I can walk into a room. I've told you this. I see stuff. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's behind the avatar, what I see stuff, I hear and I listen, and I'm telling you, words come out of people's mouth. You be like, you know what? Psh, I'm out. I'm out
Mm-hmm.
because you already know they ain't feeling
Mm-hmm.
you, and that's
Yep.
not the person that you want in your space, in your circle,
That's the type of
even in
people you
here.
wouldn't deal with in real life, though. I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful with that, though. Like, you realize that's a. Once you think the easiest way to get over on
Mute your
somebody
mic for
is
me,
when
Rello.
they think they're too good. Like, if you think you're so good at a particular game, you'll lack off. You know what I mean? And you'll just assume that you're better. And I think sometimes we do that. Like, we're all professionals with listening to the inflections in each other's voices, but sometimes we think we hear something because it also matches what we already thought. Like,
Mm.
if I'm thinking Blanco just thinks he's so smart, then I'm not listening to him anymore. I'm just hearing the words that he's choosing and thinking that, oh, so he's trying to make me feel dumb. Like, oh wow. Sorry. I don't know why that's happening. It's just awkward thing today. But th- that idea of what we think.
Damn.
Or the spot in her backyard?
All right, still recording, y'all. Still recording.
Okay, okay,
Who
okay.
said it and got us put out?
Now, what you saying, Dr.
Man,
Beavis?
I thought it was just me. I mean, not that I'm glad y'all got
Me
kicked
too.
out too, but
Me too. I
I'm
thought, yeah,
just
I thought
No,
like,
no,
saying.
no, no.
I
I'm just
thought,
glad.
yeah. I was like,
Nothing
Oh
man.
man.
personal.
Okay.
But what I was saying is that, you know, sometimes we can bridge the gap of what that person is saying to what we thought they were going to say. Oh man, I was like, not again. And it's just a dangerous situation. All I'm saying, like, because so many people don't give people a second try or even a first conversation because they're like, oh, I don't like this person because they're like this or they're like that, and it's because we think we hear things in voices, and you can see a lot more in these. You can see a lot of mannerisms in avatars. You'd be surprised. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't got to go across the room to know that two people in front of each other and they arguing. You know what I mean? Like, we know it. Or if somebody's sitting there like this, yeah, they ain't listening. They ain't trying to hear nothing they talking about. Yep, they keep doing this. Like, so we understand a lot more than I think we give each other credit for, even through an avatar.
But what if you spent time around? Like we spend a lot of time with people in here, and you just sit and you listen. Because I'm a big on that. Sitting in a room and listening till I hear something that I can add something to. I don't just come in and just start talking. And you sit and you listen to people, and I hear you, and I hear your conversation. And this is not just once, but I hear the shade. I hear the shade come from your mouth. Now I don't want to be bothered with you because if we get in that room again and the shade comes from your mouth, now the shade is gonna come from my mouth, and that's where the problem's
Yeah.
gonna come in at.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say though.
I,
You know, a lot of this stuff comes from astral projecting. You know what I'm saying? When you go on a spiritual level, you know what I'm saying? You actually astral projecting your spirit inside of this avatar form. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk on the spiritual level, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, let's get real. I mean, so therefore, you is transitioning. You're transpiring your soul from your body into this avatar to imitate you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when it's talking, when your mind talking and doing this and doing that, it's only representing you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it. You just gotta have the ears. You gotta have the eyes. You know what I'm saying? God bless
That
certain
I don't
people to
understand.
be. Yeah, I know, because it's deeper than what you think it
I,
is. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
I
but
wanted to
hold on.
say to what B was saying though, like, and I agree with you. Like, you shouldn't give people multiple opportunities to mess up your piece or whatever, but we should always confirm it first. Like, I think, like, even in my personal relationship, that's the thing. Like, like, two people could be having a conversation, and Blanco could take something I'm saying disrespectfully, but if
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't confirm it with me, maybe I wasn't actually trying to be disrespectful. Like, we should always give the person an opportunity, even though it goes outside of our personal understanding. Maybe that's just something that we take differently than another person. So, like, when you throw those terms around like shade or
All right.
talking shit or whatever, like, they might not have taken it that way. Like, I see so many broken relationships or friendships, especially in the metaverse, where we're forced to be around one another somewhat just to be in the places we want to be. So, you know, it happens where people are just really having a lot of misunderstandings, but have poor communication skills.
Well, but you also got to go on with people. If they show you who you are, believe them,
Believe
type
them.
thing.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah, I
it,
agree. I agree.
I think it really relies back on your own self too, on how you want to conduct yourself. If you want to make it something that you want to communicate and figure out more about, or if it is something that's not relevant to you, or is something that's good for you and your atmosphere. If you want to include them into your circle.
I agree with that.
now,
Blanco.
see, to me, that's a level of that's a to me that's how she came with it and how B is coming with it. Those are just levels of to me levels of sensitivity. Some people got high levels of sensitivity. Some have low levels, right? Case in point, just 3 days ago, maybe 2 days ago, I flat all out got into it with King for the win. Straight went in. We was going at it for hours. Everybody left. Next day, very next day, same location. What's up, dog? What's up? Boom, 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 boom. Because we both probably went home and thought about it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even come back in it. He didn't come back in on no platform. I wouldn't even think about the platform because I was thinking about, well, man, kind of intelligent. He was, you know what I'm saying? But at the moment, everything he was talking about, hey, man, I'm not ready to flash off, yo. But that's that in the instance where you say, what he was talking about in a sense, well, you may be trying to finish a sentence because you thinking you're hearing what they're saying. Or like I said, they may have communicated in a different language and now you want to just say, okay, based on this, that, and the third, they're this or they're that. Because I'm still seeing that in my experiences. I'm
Mhm.
still seeing it in my experiences here. I just had one, you know what I mean?
But I do agree with what Fancy said. It's just certain times you gotta pick. If you gotta understand that person is where they are mentally. And if you're willing to, help them out and understand how you see things, and maybe y'all can have a relationship. Maybe it's not worth your time to explain anything. Maybe it's not worth it.
Well, I get it. I understand that to a degree because my honor might be on a honor level 10, and your honor or what you might think is honorable or whatever might be on a 5, and I might not feel like you fuck with
Y'all
me
ain't
like that
matching.
if we ain't matching. You get what I'm saying? And it
Mm-hmm.
might not be that, but it's that.
Mm-hmm. And if we
Mm-hmm.
too off,
Mm-hmm.
we might not never link up. Like, you can't raise my level, or you're not willing to go down, but so far out of your own comfort range of what you're
Mm-hmm.
willing to accept. So I understand that.
Okay. Jeremiah, let me ask you this. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think envy is more prone in relationships or in friendships?
Both, but a relationship definitely is more prone. Only because like you get we could pick and choose our friends, but we can't pick and choose like who we fall in love with, like who loves us,
Yes,
and
you can.
but to an extent, and like when you're dating and all that stuff, like they're understanding who you truly are, and if you're truly like a jealous or naturally like envious person, it puts a strain on the relationship because like dang, I can't even be trusted, and we on the
Mm-hmm.
same team. That's the crazy part.
We're
Don't be
different
jealous.
players.
And
Are you
that's
speaking on jealousy or possession?
No, this is jealousy.
Okay.
Possession is a different realm because that's like more of a actions, and then there's it's completely separate.
Okay.
Possessive, there's a behavior around possessive people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy isn't like a behavior, it's more like the mindset. You was always jealous.
Got you. Got you. All right, we're gonna be wrapping this up shortly. Let's see here. Dick Tracy, what advice do you have for someone trying to manage their jealousy in a healthy way? I identified that I'm a jealous person. I got all this hate in my heart. How can I start tomorrow by stepping on the right foot?
That's yeah. I mean, do you want to? Do you want to? I don't have a. I'm not sure if I have the answer for that, but like, do you want to do better? Do you want to continue being a jealous person? You want to continue contributing to your own self destruction, um, or you don't. Either you do or you don't. So, like, Fancy said, find a way to channel that negative energy, those negative thoughts, into something that's more productive for you, so that you can contribute to your future better in your future.
Okay. So it sounds like you're saying that these people can be rehabilitated if they choose to be. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. That's You can't get help unless you seek it, right?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So if I want change, I'm not trying to sound generic or cliche or nothing like that, but like you got to start with you. Has to start with you.
Acknowledgement starts first.
Reflection.
Mm-hmm. You gotta understand, it's not you; it's a choice that you're making continuously.
Okay. Fancy, let me ask you, what role do you think social media plays in jealousy and envy and how it affects our society?
Well, I think that everybody on social media always puts up the good parts of their lives in fronts of everything. I mean, once in a while you'll see some things, but more, I feel, the tragic things that happen, death and sickness and things like that. But everybody wants to put up a good front, and people tend to always look at that and see that that is what they have or what's going on with them, and then tend to get jealous or envious of things that they have or what's going on in their life and not their own. So I think that just brings up a lot of jealousy and envy that way.
Okay. Rello, as a man, it seems like y'all love friendly competition, but what's the line between friendly competition and me just want to see you bad and out, down and out?
See, yeah, I ain't gonna lie though. It ain't no such thing as a friendly competition. Competition is competition. I'm be honest. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and you know, it ain't no difference because at the end of the day, they want to see you down and out because it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? They put the word friendly in there so it won't make it seem so harsh. See what I'm saying? They just put that analogy in there. But at the bottom line, competition is a competition. You know what I'm saying? Let the best man win. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it ain't no difference on that.
I don't agree.
Really ain't.
You don't what don't you agree, Dollar Measy?
I don't think all competition the person will see you down and out. Like I could not want you to win, but not want you to fail. I just don't want you to do better than me. That's all.
Mm-hmm. In this bout, in this round,
Yeah.
I'm gonna win my fight, but if you win yours next week against the champion, whatever, I just don't want to lose today. I want to make it to the next round.
Don't win. Let me get some hits in. Like that's how I feel.
No, man. See, that's
Make me look
crazy.
good
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Yeah, so it ain't no such thing as a friendly
Hey, my daughter
competition.
here.
You hear all these different. Hey,
My grandma is in the
yeah,
stage
like,
right now, bro. Like,
but
She'll never
So
forget
you
it.
they
saying that we
go.
can't friends? Let's see here. So friends can't compete.
You can
yeah,
spar.
If
absolutely.
you compete, I mean, it's all. See, it's
Now,
all in the mind. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
so friendly
There's no there
competition.
shouldn't be any competition between friends.
I think
If
it's
we're
because
friends, I want to see you excel. We both. If I know something that can help you go up the ladder, I'm gonna say, Infinite, here, try this out. This is what I tried and it helped me out. Here, because we friends. But there's gonna be competition between people that don't know each other. Because I don't want you to get ahead of me. You're my friend. I don't care if you get ahead of me. 'Cause you know why? When you get ahead, we both going ahead. Remember that night we had that the party what's his name Hardy had at Club 90, and I was laughing at that girl because when Starsha went, we all win because I don't have no
Mm-hmm.
competition with my friend. When my friend wins, we all win.
So no, hold on, B. Before we get to Jeremiah, let me ask you this, B. Let me ask you this right quick. So, what's your business, B? You sell products, right? Hair products.
Yes.
So I wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I want to sell hair products too. I want to sell it on Instagram just like you. I want to sell it in Horizon just like you.
I'm gonna help
I
you.
want to. So
I'm gonna help you.
You're not gonna feel any type of
No,
way about that?
I have a friend in here that sells hair products. In here, I have no feelings because you know why? What's for me is for me. She can't take nothing from me. Nothing.
So what if every person that you talk to, she talk to? That ain't gonna start making you feel
That's
some type of way?
fine. That's fine with me. Because still, for every person that she may get to come on her side, God is gonna bring somebody else for me.
But
Because
that
He don't
ain't
let
feeling
nobody
kind of
let no.
friendly, B. That's not feeling friendly.
Yeah, that's feeling a little
that,
competitive. I ain't gonna
That to
lie.
me, that's not unfriendly. To me, that's not unfriendly. Because she got to eat too. But that's not taking money. That's not taking anything from me, because whatever leaves, God's gonna bring something else in the place of it. It may not bring just one. It'll be a couple of things in the place of it. Because everything ain't for everybody, and what is not for you, let it slide.
I think you might have to rise up to that perspective, because it didn't feel good, B. It don't be.
Yeah, I ain't there yet.
Wait a minute, but
I told her about the Oculus. Get you an Oculus and come in here and make some of this money.
Okay, Blanco.
But everything has a positive and a negative, a negative side. Everything. So competition can be friendly, just like it can be negative. You know what I mean? When you're in the Boy Scouts, you have all these competitions. The troop that gets all the obstacles done at a certain time, they win. It doesn't make them have to go home or put them in a bad light. And it's just like in college. You have college friends that's gonna try to see who can get the highest GPA. Who gonna get that valedictorian, or whatever the case may be. You have the fraternities. Fraternities, they having step shows. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to be the most recognized frat that year, whatever the case may be. I know it. There are friendly competitions. The competition itself is not inherently negative. Inherently.
But
also, too, there's no competition between her and I. There's no competition, because what I do is totally different from what she do.
So let me.
But what if it was the same as what she was saying?
But it's not.
No,
okay,
but
let me ask Rello. Let me ask Rello, because I can't put. So Rello, I got a studio.
If it was, we don't.
You got a studio. This was a real life situation. Studio wars. We got studio things going on at the same time, same hour, all this other stuff. And I'm getting people that's at your studio trying to get them to my studio. Do you feel like I'm being friendly with coming at you at that angle in so many ways? If you done gathered your folks in so many ways, does that feel friendly? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take it as no friendly justice if I already done got my people. I mean, I would take it as it just depends on how the individual presented it. You know what I'm saying? Like, did he come to me and say, "Hey, do you mind if I get a couple people?" Or did he come in and just start mingling around, talking to? You know what I'm saying? How did he come about the situation? That's the main key. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
And you also can't tell people where they can go and where they can't go.
Yeah, it's how you do it. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah. But I had a studio and it was popular, and people came into my studio and started rapping about their studio on my mic.
Oh wow!
So I mean, it's a way about doing it. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's how you, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like I have been in a situation where I went in. I'm gonna tell you, like, level up. You know what I'm saying? I said I had a competition I had to do. So what I did was I was like, shit, this how you vote to handle the situation. If you say you're a man, you stand on it. So I was just like, hey, I went in his studio and I was like, I seen him. I went to him. I like, hey man, I ain't want to just mingle around your studio and asking people. I wanted to get your blessing to see if I could talk to some of your people and see if they'll be interested in, the event that I got coming up. And if you want to, you can be a judge for it if you want to. And you know what I'm saying? Everything played out just the way I wanted it, though. But it's just how you go about it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
A lot of people don't move like that in the metaverse, Rello.
Yeah, straight up.
Jeremy, I'm gonna ask you. Somebody it was inspired by your wings. Does that make you feel any type of way, or you feel some type of way?
I just want to see what you make. Like, I'm building other things. Like, build some wings. I think it's cute.
Big Tracy, I do poetry. You do poetry. Does that make you feel some type of way?
No, absolutely not. Look, you can't lay claim to shit. If you think that you are the original, the beginning, the origin, the referent for anything in life, you are sadly mistaken. You're not. Everything that everybody at this table, everything that
somebody else can do
has already been done. All right. And that's not original. That saying right there ain't even original.
No,
all right.
That's not true.
How's it not
true? Where? Yeah,
explain it to me.
Okay, so us being in the metaverse, we're building things that other people have not built.
Not true.
Um,
Like what?
No,
Like what?
no,
it it has
because
nothing to do
Eltron
with
was building wings.
right. But like that, the wings is just another example. Um, I know people who built wings and other things, but they weren't the first to do it. You know what I mean? There's
Hmm.
the first to do things. There's people who built things first. You know, since they've been in the metaverse. So those are like the founders, technically,
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
from my perspective. But like when you say
Oh, I'm
like
sorry.
people are building clubs and stuff like that, that's an example. You know what I mean? People already did that, but when you're building stuff that nobody else has built, that set. Sorry, my Arizona can. That sets that. So it's like right here. So, but that I just disagree, and that's all I'm gonna say.
That's
Well,
fine.
well, everything is a reference of something
Respectfully.
else, though. In time, like you know, the telephone, even when it was created, was just a upgraded version of the carrier pigeon. Like, Facebook
Hmm.
is an upgraded of a message board, which was upgraded from a cave wall drawing or message board. Like everything is upgraded from something else. It's just like this. This is basically social media. It's Facebook with the live person. If you
Well,
really
it's a
want to be
social
Hmm.
technical.
platform, right?
Yeah. So even if we were to create something, it's just a representation of something that was already created. We're expounding on that idea that was already set out.
But
Hmm.
I have to disagree with him to a certain extent though, because once you create something that takes a whole different application or takes a whole different level, like the pigeon, we own this right now. The pigeon, right? That's archaic, right? Right? You can't patent that, right? But that was patented as far as like the express, what they call it. I don't know what they call it when they start delivering mail different ways. But when
Mm-hmm.
you like when you okay, like for instance, let me give a better example. Like the telephone, the regular telephone, that was patented because that was innovative at that time. Someone created that medium and mechanism for that. Then when you got the cell phone, right? I can argue with somebody all day long and say, hey, 40, 50, 60 years ago, they was doing that on Star Trek, but it wasn't out here. Military had it, but it wasn't out here. They was talking on wireless, just like on Star Trek, on old Star Trek shows. But once somebody put it into an application, because it's based on how the system's set up in terms of ownership and rights and creativity rights or whatever rights, then that becomes something that individual, just like the lady who they just said lady who she made the straightening comb, right? But she didn't get credit for it, right? Somebody
Hmm.
Hmm.
take that, they patent it. So this person gets all the royalties and all that, right? But anybody
Hmm.
can say, well, all she did was apply heat to
A
some type
comb.
of thing. Yeah, to some. She just applied heat to something that somebody else could apply heat a different way. But no, you got to really. They're gonna get credit for that application, that delivery to whatever. So that's the same thing he's saying in here. In here, this is just basic shapes. In Blender, whoever did something first in Blender using that's Blender and whatever Unity. But in here, they was doing basic shapes. Like Lawnmower Man, first person get a video in here, just crazy. But it ain't gonna be well since it's VR. Somebody and done. I mean, this VR itself is just an extension of something else. No, they got to get their credit when they innovate something. They got to get their
But
credit.
why? I think we're too focused on credit. By the way, like that patent and stuff. That's all man created. We created so we can say that we own the rights to something. So many patents are really not even given to the actual creators. Like it's just who
Right.
knew how to do the paperwork first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why they got things like the poor man's
Who
patent
got
and
the
all that.
money to do it?
Yeah, like even straightening comes a great example. Like you can look all across the world, like Asians, Africans, everybody has their version of it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, and it's in different ways. Like, and we're talking about before electric type days. So I mean, I just think the credit idea is crazy. You know,
And
it's
and
all
not
it's always been made.
and I don't mean to cut you off, and not to take away what I initially started off with was not to take away from what you created, but just to understand that what you created is an extension of something else, of something that came before. You can still be original in a world that is no longer original. All right, that is unoriginal. It's
Hmm.
possible, but not take it away from anything that anybody in here created. It's just that if you go around thinking And Blanco was talking about patents. If you go around thinking that you are the first to do this, I'm the first to create a triangle. I'm the first to, this is give me the credit. I need the credit. I need the We all want recognition. I want recognition for the hard work that I put in anything that I do. Same with you. I want credit, but I am not naive enough. I don't want to. Maybe that's too harsh. But for lack of a better word, naive enough to think that anything that I do in here or out here doesn't have any kind of referent origin,
Mm-hmm.
inspiration.
Right.
You have been inspired by something. Sometimes I
Right.
hear music in my sleep, and I think to myself, I ain't never heard that shit before. Let me get on the keyboard and see if I can put this down. I ain't never heard that before, but I was inspired by something. Something inspired you to
Mm-hmm.
create what you
Mm-hmm.
do. Doesn't take away from what you created.
Mm-mm.
It's just that think of how long human beings have existed.
All right. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and finish our closing remarks, starting with B. What words do you
Hmm.
have for people that's undergoing and been diagnosed with chronic envy?
Hmm.
They need a treatment plan.
Chronic diagnosis.
Jealousy ain't the way to go. It ain't. You you can anything somebody else have, you can have it too. Just put your mind to it, and you can have it. But jealousy and envy ain't the way to go. It ain't, and that's it.
Blanca?
I would say since these are um, triggers, urges, and these are internal things. You know what I'm saying? That could be triggered by some external, right? So that means sometimes these are uncontrollable. I say that you know, reach out to the things that are out there that deal strictly with helping you come back to balance, whatever that may be. Like you said, like working out, CBD. That's my thing. CBD. You know what I'm saying? I like to sip too.
THC.
I'm from I'm down here in the South. You know what I'm saying? We get down. So um, things like that. And meditation, which is breathe, which is mainly mastering the breathing meditation. All those different things will always help you go back to a center. Just go back to a center, and once you get back to a center, you can balance out that jealousy when it's up here over something else.
Mm. Fancy?
I'd have to say, look inside yourself. Try to see why you're having jealousy or envy, or what exactly is triggering that for you, and kind of build upon that. If you take it just one step at a time every day, trying to figure out what that is, and being able to control it a little bit more each day till eventually it's not something you're envying or something that's maybe a success for you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna say, like I say every time, take a look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Before you feel like, you know what I'm saying, being jealous of somebody or envying somebody, just look at the past of all the people that you done it to and let it see where it got you. If it ain't get you nowhere, then they let you know that you're going down the wrong path. You see what I'm saying? So you might want to change it up, But you know, just just take responsibility, of your own actions. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we forget that. You know what I'm saying? We and most importantly, we forget about God. You know what I'm saying? We don't. If, he the one that gave us the mind. You know what I'm saying? He knew we were gonna have wicked intentions. You know what I'm saying? As I say, we, as in all, because you know what I'm saying. We all fall guilty of our own. You know what I'm saying? So just take heed. You know what I'm saying? Take a look in the mirror. And just think about it. What have being jealous and envy towards another person got me, and that'll be your answer. So just take that.
Hello,
Jeremiah.
everybody. um, I would say like spread more like self awareness. For people to reflect on the habits that they've already been doing. You know what I mean? Like we all have habits and things that we do, but just acknowledging that and working on that, It's not as difficult as you think. Just stop hating.
Please.
And
Please.
get some wings. Stop hating and get some wings.
Right.
Stop hating,
God.
start snitching.
Oh
Don't do
wow.
that
I ain't
either.
say all
Don't do that either.
Dollar B's.
Snitches get
Nah,
stitches and end up in ditches.
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
wow.
I
That's
would just
not oh
I
God.
would just say put out there that there's a separation between your thoughts and your actions. You know, you have the ability to rest the thought. The minute you think something, you can take it in, you can analyze it, and figure out exactly where it came from and what is it pushing you to do, and do the things that you can see is healthy for you. you a lot of times when we have a problem, we think that like our reaction happened at the same time that we were triggered. There was a moment there that you just didn't take, and if you take it, you'll be able to learn from it, grow from it, and do better the next time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's just, you're jealous, you're envious. Congratulations, you're human. Now close your eyes and picture me rolling.
And for me, they often say that they know not what they do. But today, we're telling people to go in the mirror, and if they don't like what they see, they need to do something about it. And with that being said,
Absolutely.
everybody, thank you for joining Infinite Rockett Power, and you all have a blessed day.
Thank you guys. This is
Infinite,
beautiful.
infinite. Next
All
topic of
right.
discussion
I'm
should
gonna
be
go find the
snitching.
snacks. I'll be back.
You should do that because I see now.
Snitches get
I see
stitches.